Broadcasting live from the National Laboratory on the plain of Hawkins, Indiana, this is Tap Tap Concede. Welcome, everybody, to Tap Tap Concede. My name is Graham. Joining me is Nelson.
Hello, yes, I am here.
And Cameron.
Hi.
And today on Tap Tap, we are talking about a whole bunch of Secret Lairs that have been released since our last recording. We're recording this on the morning of Saturday, the 23rd of October. And they basically dropped a train on us with Secret Lair, which unfortunately you are only able to order through Wizards of the Coast and not through the good people at Card Kingdom, sponsor of the show. Check out cardkingdom.com/LRR. But we are sending you over there because you can get basically everything else, and it'll be cheaper and faster and more pleasantly delivered than well, I mean, I guess than buying Secret Lairs. I was going to say than any other option, but I mean, I suppose all of that is true. They're great, and you can ask for a button. Say, loading ready run sent me, button please, and you'll get a little 1-inch button that currently says upkeep, draw, untap. And of course, the show is also brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loading ready run. And we really appreciate it. So at a certain level, just talking about Secret Lairs is also going to be advertising for Secret Lairs, but that's true of everything that we do on this podcast. You can't really talk about Magic the Gathering without also, in some level, being unwitting marketing for Magic the Gathering, but I mean, we like the game. That said, some criticisms might come up a little later, but first of all, let's just dive on in and talk about the rest of the Secret Lair that we began talking about last week, because I'd only revealed 2 cards out of it. So it's the Stranger Things Secret Lair. Now, a reminder that these are all brand new, mechanically unique cards, but we will be seeing in Magic versions of these be printed fairly soon, actually, like within 6 months. And I think that Blake Rasmussen from Wizards actually said that they'll be appearing in boosters at a fairly astonishing rate, actually. Like they're going to be like a extra slot or part of the booster fund or something. The point is you'll be able to get if you want the actual in Magic version. And they announced yesterday that retroactively the Walking Dead cards will also be receiving in Magic mechanically same versions that will be added to the list at some point. So there will be non-Walking Dead versions of those mechanics at some point as well, which they had not originally said that they were going to do and now have. And now people are like, cool, now we're much more okay with it.
ASMR shivers in old Magic player.
So I guess let's talk about the rest of Stranger Things. We talked about Chief Jim Hopper and 11 the Mage last week, so let's knock through the rest of them. I said we were broadcasting from Hawkins National Laboratory, which is a legendary land. Now, here's the thing. If you go to the Secret Lair website and you go to the Stranger Things Secret Lair page and you look at all of the cards that come in it, this card isn't there. I don't know where this came from, but it's official, and I saw it, and I assume that it's like the secret, not secret extra card. They've not made this easy to understand, and I think that's partly by design, and it is bugging the hell out of me this week trying to put together this episode of Tap Tap Concede. We were talking just moments before we pressed record, and there's a Secret Lair that Cameron hadn't even heard about.
Yeah. And I'm like lethally online.
Yeah, it's ludicrous. Anyway,
morbidly online.
Your doctor recommends not being online as much as Cameron is, and yet somehow this Secret Lair.
My doctor would probably recommend the same thing. So yeah, Hawkins National Laboratory, which we assume is in this set, but just not advertised, but was also advertised, don't worry about it, is a legendary land, taps to add colorless, and for 4 and tap you investigate. Awesome. At the beginning of your end step, if you sacrificed 3 or more clues this turn, transform Hawkins National Laboratory. I already kind of like this. So it turns into the Upside Down. It's a transform card. I think it's that's very good. Sorry, the top left icon, the transform icon where it shows like the land or whatnot.
Day or night marker, yeah.
The day or night marker, it's been different in other sets because it's not always a day or night transformation thing. But in this case, it's the land icon, and then on the back, it's the land icon upside down.
Cute.
That is cute. So in the Upside Down, when this land transforms into the Upside Down, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Sweet. When the creature put into the battlefield with the Upside Down leaves the battlefield, transform the Upside Down. And it has an activated ability of pay 1 life to add black. So you spend 6 mana, sack 3 clues, or possibly use a, treasure cove, or whatever the map turns into. Anyway, you sacrifice some clues. Maybe you can sacrifice them to things that want you to sacrifice artifacts. Let's not get too into the weeds. Sacrifice 3 clues, then this flips, you get a creature back right onto the battlefield, and then whenever it leaves the battlefield, then this turns back into the National Laboratory, and you can do it again. This seems really sweet, actually.
Seems real good, honestly. Like, I wonder if this would matter in Legacy. I'm not sure, but there is a deck that mostly just plays lands, and it has a fair bit of mana.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to... I was going to say investigate, and then I realized it was going to be a pun, and then I tried to bail out of it and realized I was too far into the sentence, and now I'm just blathering. I'm going to look into this for Commander when there's the not Secret Lair versions. When there's the not Stranger Things version. Well, I guess both are true. I'm just not super hype on Stranger Things. I understand it's great. I'm just not, personally, I'm not like, hell yeah. But this particular card seems very cool. There's also a custom clue token, which is nice. Hey, we got Mind Flayer the Shadow, which is 4 black for a 9/9 legendary enchantment creature horror. Mind Flayer the Shadow isn't a creature unless you control 3 or more permanents you don't own.
Uh-huh.
Have either of you watched all of Stranger Things?
Yeah, I watched the first and second seasons and was not able to get through the third season.
All right.
Me too. I'm at the exact same spot as Cameron.
Yeah, I have criticisms of the show. It's what we would call a postmodern pastiche.
Mechanically, why is Mind Flayer the Shadow not a creature unless you control 3 or more permanents you don't own? Is it like a thing with like stealing things or kidnapping things? Or?
Yeah, it kidnaps kids, and it's from a different film. Let's say that. It was kind of rolled into Stranger Things, but yeah, it lives in this alternate dimension, and it kind of like captures the kids, or it captures one of them at least, and they have to go and rescue him.
Wait, is this it?
No, it's it if it had no thematic resonance.
Oh.
If it had no themes, then yes.
All right, cool.
But yeah, I think it needs to have a certain amount of kids trapped in the Upside Down before it can do its thing, right? Or just a certain amount of time or something with the kids.
I don't remember. It just kind of I watched it and then it was over and I had no thoughts.
All right.
Yeah, it does kidnap kids though.
Okay. So then it continues. At the beginning of your end step, exile the bottom card of each opponent's library face down. For as long as those cards remain exiled, you may look at them, you may cast permanent spells from among them, and you may spend mana as though it were any color to cast those spells. So pay your 7, make a 9/9. It's not a creature, it's an enchantment. So sort of like the gods from Theros. But immediately at the end step, each opponent's library. So in Commander, this seems pretty spicy. Also, it's legendary, so this could be the Commander, but woof, 7 mana. And then you get to start casting stuff from your opponent's decks. Yeah, right. It's very expensive, but a cool effect.
Honestly, kind of along the lines of Gonti, too. If you like playing Gonti, it's sort of like an alternate Gonti.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting card.
Yeah.
I think it's a far more interesting card than a show.
Dustin, Gadget Genius, is 2 blue, white for a 2/3 human. Tap to add 2 colorless mana. Spend it only to cast artifact spells or activate artifact abilities. And it has Friends Forever, which all the humans do, which is the horsemanship to partners flying. It's a different tier of... Right now, Stranger Things Secret Lair can only partner with other Stranger Things Secret Lair characters, is what that means. So 2/3 for 4, tap to add 2 colorless, only to cast artifact spells or activate artifact abilities. Mm-hmm.
This does seem like a card that will translate into a generic Magic set quite easily.
Yep. Signpost blue-white uncommon allows you to get into blue-white artifacts in draft.
You figure this is more of an uncommon than a rare? Probably, yeah.
A 4-mana 2/3?
I mean, yeah, it's a legendary 4-mana 2/3. It has Friends Forever, so that's sweet as a commander, but I don't know if this card screams rare. You mentioned that Blake said these cards are going to be very available, and I feel like Mind Flayer is probably a mythic, but Dustin might be uncommon.
That's fair. Lucas, the Sharpshooter, is blue-red for a 1/3 human. Tap, sack an artifact. Lucas, the Sharpshooter, deals 1 damage to target creature. goad that creature, which is until your next turn, that creature attacks each combat if able and attacks a player other than you if able, and also has Friends Forever, which, again, apart from the being legendary in the Friends Forever, this also feels like an uncommon.
Yep.
Agreed.
But that's kind of cool. I like that sometimes they just bring goad back randomly.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest pinger in the world, but having it being able to, like, basically kill something, because I doubt you're goading something unless you have the opportunity to kill it. Yeah, it seems like a totally good draft uncommon.
Yeah. Max, the Daredevil, is 1 red-green for a 3/2 human with haste. And whenever you cast your second spell each turn, untap target creature, then investigate. That's an interesting little combination of things.
Yeah, I'm much happier about the stat lines on this one. I feel like Max is a much more playable card in, like, 60 card or 40 card formats. You get 3 mana for 3 power haste and the chance to draw more cards. Plus, like, maybe making mana with your untap trigger or offering vigilance. Like, lot of good things going on here.
Yeah, this seems playable. I like it.
Sweet. Mike, the Dungeon Master, is 1 green-white for a 2/2 human. 2 and tap. Choose target creature card in your graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Return it to the battlefield tapped. And also has Friends Forever. That's a heck of a thing.
Yeah, green-white reanimator is, like, sort of rare. Like, usually white has some kind of ability, and then green also can bring back permanents, but they usually go to hand. So, this is a very cheap reanimator effect. It requires a little bit of setup, but yeah, could see losing some games to this card.
Yeah, no, another one I like. Relationship ended with Apprentice Necromancer.
Ooh.
Mike, the Dungeon Master's new best friend. If you remember Apprentice Necromancer from way back when that card was playable.
Like Modern Horizons 2 PPR, right?
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
It was back there.
Yeah. I definitely would. I think the ceiling on Mike's power level is pretty high, right? The potential things you can do with them are pretty high.
Yeah, this feels like it wants to combo with, like, Grizzlebrand and Children. What is it? Child of Corliss? Children of Corliss?
Children of Corliss. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our last card from the Stranger Things Secret Lair is Will the Wise. White-black for a 1/2 human. When Will the Wise enters or leaves the battlefield, each opponent may investigate. Each opponent who doesn't loses 1 life. You investigate X times, where X is 1 plus the number of opponents who investigated this way, and also has Friends Forever. So it's I don't know if they ever actually formally named that mechanic, but it's that one from the Commander set a few years ago where it's like, I'm going to do this. Everybody else can do this too, but if everybody else does this, I do it more.
Yeah, like Commander 2013 or something. One of the second or third Commander sets, they put that ability on a bunch of sorceries.
Yeah, there was like, I'm gonna go look for a land. Anyone else can go look for a land too if you want. But by the way, if you also go look for a land, then I'm gonna go look for more land. And that card is unreasonable.
Yeah, the one that's like 1 green to get going or whatever is certainly the most played from that cycle. But they made a bunch of them, and this card seems really sweet. Like the fact that you don't have to put extra mana into it, and that no matter what your opponents choose, you're pretty happy, and you get the trigger when it enters and leaves.
Yeah, like I think the worst, and I'm putting air quotes around like worst case scenario, is you pay 2 mana for a 1/2 and you get a clue and your opponent loses a life.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, right?
There was that human from Shadows over Innistrad, the good one.
Yeah, the Thraben Inspector.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, the community's favorite white 1-drop, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you say, enters or leaves the battlefield means that, good in like a sacrifice strategy. So that's neat too.
Will the Wise just might be who we need right now.
So that is, I'm not going to worry too much about the sort of individual price points or whatever, but that is available in foil or non-foil. All the Secret Lairs in this, so this is all part of the October Super Drop, which you can get. There's like a whole bunch of Secret Lairs. You can get them in foil or non-foil. You can get them bundled in foil or non-foil. You can get a bundle that's everything in both foil and non-foil that's like $450. And then one of them also has an etched foil option. 2 of them also has an etched foil option that, we'll just mention when we get there. But so yeah, that's the Stranger Things Secret Lair.
Can we talk just briefly about the value of this by itself? If you get the non-foil one, it's $40 US. And you get 10 cards. So even if most of these turn out to be like 25-cent uncommons and regular printings from the Magic universe, you're getting the Stranger Things version. So if you care about that, that obviously is where you get some value. And it's 10 cards.
Yeah. The next one I want to talk about in the October Super Drop is one that God, I just love everything about this. It's ridiculous, but I love it. This is the Monster Movie Marathon. It's 4 cards that are styled like a very specific era of like mid to late century monster movies, and they're completely like just redesigned, and all the things are moved around in a weird way, but they're so perfect, and functionally all the information is there. So Dismember is the name of this movie, and it says it's an instant. I love that it's rated 18, but they use that as the 1 and the 2 Phyrexian pips. Like that's how they get the pips across. Very clean. Dismember. Target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn. And everything about these, the composition, the font choices, these are like, are they completely unreadable as Magic cards at first glance? Yes. Do I care? Not really. these are so sweet. My favorite, honestly, is the next one, Blasphemous Act. So it's a blasphemous act that deals 13 damage to each creature. ... Sorcery. It's just the idea of using like that tagline to get across that it's a sorcery. Just the way that it's formatted is just really funny.
Yeah, no, some of these feel like movie posters to me, and some of them feel like horror novel covers.
Oh yeah, actually. Yeah.
Like the Dismember one is honestly a really interesting mix-up of like Reanimator with like a 1940s kind of movie poster.
Yes, it does have a lot of Reanimator, doesn't it? The person they drew even looks a little like Jeffrey Combs, actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Yawgmoth, or Jeffrey Combs playing Yawgmoth is basically what I want to say, right?
Yeah.
And like the 18 rating being a publicity thing, basically, that didn't exist.
Yeah.
Because that would be rated X, right? But like, I remember film on their boxes being like, 18 plus only, the goriest film ever made. And it's like, that doesn't exist, right? That's not a real thing. But that was from like 70s and 80s films.
They have Beast, its controller gets a 3/3 green beast creature token. And then this further tagline, destroy target, ... permanent. Oh my god. And then the last one is Grafdigger's Cage, which I love that it's both halves of the card are presented as like different creepy taglines, right? Creature cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. That looks like a red band warning. The way that it's placed on this one. It's like, you gonna go see Grafdigger's Cage? I heard players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. No way. The like mana costs look like the production companies and stuff. These are very, very silly, but I just love how they're laid out.
I enjoy these a lot.
It's good art, and I feel like the metal band posters walked so that these could run.
Yeah.
Grafdigger's Cage in particular reminds me of like a 1970s or 80s Stephen King paperback cover. Like I could see that, Carrie, right? Actually, was Carrie actually ever published with that font?
I don't know.
Now I have to look it up.
All right.
Because it feels really familiar. Anyway, it's not important, but I think that's the evocation that they want. I think the reaction I'm having is the one that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where do I know this from?
Absolutely.
I feel this one.
Next is the Showcase Midnight Hunt. So the black and white treatment that was on a lot of the basic lands that cycle of basic lands in Midnight Hunt. They've done that to the original Innistrad multicolored utility lands. So Moorland Haunt, Vault of the Archangel, Nephalia Drownyard, Desolate Lighthouse, Stensia Bloodhall, Grim Backwoods, Kessig Wolf Run, Slayer's Stronghold, Gavany Township, and Alchemist's Refuge. And if you like this style from Midnight Hunt, seems like you will probably like these very much. And if you're off it, you probably won't like this very much.
Yeah, they're fine. I guess.
Yeah.
I these ones provoke no strong feelings in me one way or another.
Generally, I think I dig these, but I'm not like clamoring for them. But I dig them.
Mm-hmm.
I think you said it. It's like if you really liked those basic lands, you're gonna really like these. It's like more from that same catalog, but it looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember vaguely feeling like Desolate Lighthouse should have been playable, and Moorland Haunt was absolutely a thing in Standard. Vault of the Archangel? Does that do anything still?
It gets a bit of play in Commander. Same with Loot House. Loot House is pretty good in Canadian Highlander. Slayer's Stronghold gets played in Modern.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it makes your Primeval Titan have haste. Yeah.
I mean, and I suppose you still just die to Wolf Run.
Yeah, it's possible. Wolf Run probably has some uses too.
Next is a Secret Lair collection called Read the Fine Print. It's just very clean. It's 5 cards. It's Liliana's contract and the 4 demons with whom Liliana made the contract. They all have new art styles by the artist Ziuk. It's all capitals, Ziuk. I'm unfamiliar with their work. This is the first stuff they've done with Magic, but it's all using black and gold with some occasional small purple accents as a spot color, and it's very cool looking. So yeah, it's Liliana's Contract, Demon Lord Belzenlock, Grizzlebrand, Kothafed Soul Hoarder, and Razaketh the Foul-Blooded. And you can get this one in regular foil by regular I mean non-foil. You can get it in non-foil or foil or etched foil. Anybody other than Grizzlebrand really seeing like high play?
Nah, you're gonna be leaning on the Grizzlebrand to kind of pay for this one.
Fair enough.
But they look fantastic. I mean, if you love demons, this is for you, clearly.
Yep. It's a whole package, right? Liliana's Contract says the beginning of your upkeep. If you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. So this gets you everything you need right here.
Honestly, if you're trying to build an EDH deck on a budget that has a cool storyline, it's all right here for $30.
Nice. Next is Thrilling Tales of the Undead. This actually, Cameron, this seems more in the realm of the pulp novels like you were talking about.
Yeah. This might be more like pulp magazine.
Yeah. So it's 3 cards centering around Liliana, sort of. And they have the traditional, I'm trying to describe this for the benefit of people who are only listening. I know that this is a very visual episode, but these are a more traditional Magic card frame layout, whereas the movie poster ones were full art. So these have the type line and the text box and the mana costs where they would be normally. But then instead of the name line of the card and the art, that whole space is being taken up by art where the name of the card is incorporated in to look like the cover of a novel. So there's Gravecrawler, she'll get revenge or die trying, and clearly the Gravecrawler looking like some sort of Marilyn Monroe-esque zombie. Liliana, Death's Majesty, death is no excuse for disobedience, and Rise of the Dark Realms, lock your doors, they're coming home. And Liliana featured on 2 of those, obviously. And yeah, these look fun. If you're need some Liliana or some zombie support and want to get funky with it.
I like how these ones meet you halfway too. They're not quite the sort of movie posters we talked about earlier, but they still have, there's some play going on with the lettering and the spacing of the title and stuff, but the purists might like this a bit more.
Mm-hmm. Next is the Monster Anatomy 101 drop. It's big. Well, they're not all big. Some of them are big, and Goblin Trashmaster. It's creatures drawn in sort of like a diagrammatic style with like call outs of specific parts of their body, and there's like partial cutaways where you can sort of see the internals, and they're also very colorful. I don't know exactly what styles this is specifically trying to evoke. The color, I think, is more so what confuses me. I guess some kind of textbook.
I assume so. Yeah, this isn't quite the Robert Hooke first microscopy kind of like diagram, but I think they're effective at what they're doing.
I agree.
I get a little bit of a Pokédex vibe here, no?
Oh yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I wonder if there's just some sort of like series of textbooks that are more common in the US that maybe we didn't get here, and this is like perfectly aping those. I don't know. Anyway, the cards are Fleet Swallower, Goblin Trashmaster, Ilharg the Raiseboar, Protean Hulk, and Gishath Sun's Avatar. They've all got little call-outs. I did like on Protean Hulk specifically, one of the sort of call-outs is in one of the like egg sacs on the Protean Hulk's back is Mysterious Merfolk. And I'm pretty sure that's meant to be, what is it? Thalia's Oracle?
Thassa's Oracle?
Thassa's Oracle. I said Thalia. Sorry, yes, Thassa's Oracle, yeah, for the Protean Hulk.
I mean, Thalia is inside of a lot of monsters, right?
Yeah, Protean Hulk also has a call out for Egg Pump, which is a
unpleasant word.
Yeah.
Sorry, listeners, that the rest of your day is going like that now.
Yeah. Really, really apologize to everybody. So this set, for whatever reason, is available in non-foil or etched foil only. And it's just a curious selection of cards. And then the last one in the October Super Drop on Secret Lair is the Mirrored Insanity, which is 5. It's the 5 artifact lands: Ancient Den, Seat of the Synod, Vault of Whispers, Great Furnace, and Tree of Tales, with new art from, I'm going to say it's pronounced Dexter. It's all caps DXTR. And they also did the art for the sort of pixelated art for the Serum Visions.
I was going to say.
Of the 4 Serum Visions, Secret Lair.
Yeah.
And so these are all interpretations of those Mirrodin cards that are primarily sort of done in a mirrored style. It's not a perfect mirror, but they're very, very stylized. They're full art with the transparent boxes floating on top of the art in the way that some promos are done. And they have it's like behind the text box is like a face of a relevant tribe from there. Like the Ancient Den has a Leonin, and the Seat of the Synod has one of the Mirrodin Vidalcan and so forth. They're striking, I'll say that.
Yeah.
I think they look pretty cool. I like this art style a lot.
Yeah, these ones grew on me probably the most out of any of the Secret Lairs.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I wonder if it's Wizards saying, hey, Dexter, you're allowed to paint cards for us, but they're only allowed to be from Mirrodin. Or if Dexter's like, sure, I'll take a commission, but only if it's a card from Mirrodin.
Good position to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think this is... I have also grown to like them. I don't know if I've grown to love them necessarily, but I mean, this is honestly what I like about doing stuff like the Secret Lairs, that it gives them the freedom to be like, hey, here's an art style that's gonna be really divisive, and if you like it, you can buy it, and if you don't, you super don't have to interact with it. And I like that Secret Lair allows them to do that, because I think that this, probably more so than any of the other ones in this particular super drop, are gonna have the biggest. These would probably score well on Split the Room, is what I'm saying. That's a game from Jackbox that I realize I'm referencing it now, assuming that everybody listening knows.
Hey, if you haven't been watching Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, get on that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's everything in the Super Drop, and they announced all that, and it was like, great, okay, cool. So those are all the Secret Lairs, gotcha. But no, there's other Secret Lairs. So this is actually interesting, because our friend Amy Amazonian stumbled across this on Arena. There's a really entertaining clip that she tweeted where she was playing with Pool of Vigorous Growth, the Momir Vig artifact, essentially, and rolled the dice for 8 mana and got Craterhoof Behemoth. But it had super weird art that she'd never seen before, and was like, what the heck is this? And then went into the different art styles on Arena, the ones that could possibly exist, but not that you're not allowed to like buy them yet. And it had these art styles, and this Craterhoof was this weird, like, gangly pink blob with the artist credit to Lars Grant West, aged 52. Now, Lars Grant West has done work for Magic the Gathering before. We know who that is, but it's weird to have it credited as age 52. And she was like, what is this? What's going on? And then there was this other art style for like a less expertly drawn version of the same image from Kira, aged 5.5. And it's like, what is going on? So as it turns out, this is the Wizards of the Coast Extra Life Secret Lair for 2021. And what they did is they got 3 cards. So it's Craterhoof Behemoth, Mull Drifter, and Metalwork Colossus. And they got kids from, I believe, from the Autism Center at Seattle Children's Hospital to draw them, and then handed those artworks to magic artists and had them do an interpretation of what the kids drew, which is, I think, a delightful idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I think it executed quite well.
Yeah. So the Mull Drifter is by Aaliyah, aged 5.5, and then Magali Villeneuve, aged 41. I mentioned Crater Hoof already, and then Metalwork Colossus from Hyun Tran, age 6, and Chris Ron, age 36. And the Metalwork Colossus is a horrifying thing to be seeing coming your way across the Kaladesh skyline. So yeah, these are I think that the actual execution is pretty excellent. And as before, a whole bunch of the money from each secret lair is being donated. Now, it came up on Twitter yesterday. I do want to talk about this. That so traditionally, Wizards of the Coast, when they do their Extra Life fundraising, they support Seattle Children's Hospitals. Awesome. In this instance, the Secret Lair, and they're doing other Extra Life fundraising, which you should check out. The Secret Lair in particular is supporting the Seattle Children's Hospital Autism Center directly. And there was some comments made on Twitter because people noted that the Seattle Children's Hospital Autism Center uses applied behavior analysis, or ABA therapy, which is it's a form of autism, treatment, I guess we will say, that many in the autism community feel is, problematic at best, I guess. I'm not in a position to render a lot of comment on it, because I will admit I've only done sort of cursory looking into it.
I kind of found out this existed yesterday when I was asked to hey, could you look into this? And I asked around, and friends on, with autism spectrum disorders, or on the spectrum somewhere, were like, yeah, we don't like this. This is bad. And kind of, what you can do at that point is be like, I will trust the people who have to experience this, that this does not seem great. So yeah, I really love these cards and don't feel particularly enthusiastic about where my money would be going.
And unfortunately, it's sort of beyond Wizards. Like, I think it's worth talking about, and it's worth raising this with Wizards, but it's they're not going to go, hey, Seattle Children's, what about this? And then Seattle Children's, there's so much administrative inertia to overcome there, that it's not like us getting in a tizzy at Wizards is going to somehow make the Seattle Children's Autism Center change the way that they operate. But I think it's important to talk about, because if this is as important as it seems to be to people on the spectrum, and again, it's early days for my knowledge of this, and apologies, I suppose, for I don't. There's lots of things I don't know, and I'm keen to learn about them. So I would like to see what Wizards thinks about it. Is my point. I'm just saying, I'm saying I'm not expecting anything to necessarily happen or change, but I want to bring it up and point a light at it, and see basically do a vibe check on all parties.
Yeah, we're recording this on Saturday, the 23rd. So as far as I could tell, people started pointing this out on Friday, and I don't know if we'll expect to see something on Monday, but I would hope so. The concerns raised seem quite legitimate, and I would hope we would get some comment on this, because you definitely would think supporting a children's hospital, that seems like a thumbs up thing. The children's hospital uses this therapy, which many feel is abusive. That's a bad thing. All I can really admit to here is a certain level of my own ignorance, but I'm going to trust the people who have to deal with this, that they don't care for it.
Yeah, so $40, pretty good price for 2 Crater Hoof Behemoths and some other cards, and follow along with us while we continue to learn what ABA therapy is, and why the autism rights movement considers it child abuse. We're still learning.
Yeah. There is one other secret lair. And this is what I was talking about. This is infuriating. That there's this website, it's like Hasbro Pulse, which is where Hasbro does special things that you can only get from Hasbro Pulse if you're some sort of super fan. I don't understand what this website is or what its purpose is, but there's a secret lair that's on it that's not on the Secret Lair website. And I think that's stupid.
Agreed.
So you might remember in the Strixhaven Mystical Archives, some of the Japanese cards featured slightly anthropomorphized cats. There was the one for Brainstorm with the cat going "Rah!" Right? It was Brainstorm and I think Faithless Looting maybe. So it's a whole secret lair of that. So it's the same artist, Ayako Ishiguro, and it's Chain Lightning, Generous Gift with the cat disguised as a rare freaky elephant, Kodama's Reach, and the Heirloom Blade. And it's available in foil or non-foil, but only on Hasbro Pulse.
And only this weekend while we're recording. So by the time you've heard of this, you will have missed it. And I don't know how else you would have heard of this, because I don't know, I didn't see it advertised through like Wizards Twitter, I guess. I don't know, I guess that's where I'm used to seeing things.
I stumbled across it because, so I saw someone, so Hasbro Pulse is like, I don't know if it's a in-person event or what, but this was like the big week/weekend for like all of these things that they were releasing on this website. And I saw someone tweet about this profoundly stupid thing that they're doing where they're selling a Power Rangers action figure or model kit or whatever with extra steps. It's like they're selling an NFT, kinda. It's like, this is more stupid than usual. It's you buy, it's time gated, and you can only get it if you're in the US. If you buy this NFT during a period of time, then you get some Power Rangers art. But it's not a single thing because a bunch of people can buy it. So it's not like the NFTs we've been seeing where it's like only one person owns the thing. Anyone can like buy it if you buy it within that window. And then during a different window, you can redeem it for the physical toy.
Uh-huh.
But wait, Graham, that's not an NFT.
They seem to think it. I mean, it is in that it's on the Wax blockchain, but it's like, I don't know, man. It seems anyway. I saw someone tweeting about how mind-bendingly silly this was, and then I was like, "Oh, what's Hasbro Pulse? Wait, what's this? These are Magic cards. This is a secret lair. What's it doing on this website?" And yeah, it's only available until 11 a.m. Eastern on the 24th. So it's like not even another 24 hours from time of recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, this is obviously not as like potentially harmful as the other stuff we were talking about, but this is really stupid.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Yeah. I just wish they could just sell a toy instead, you know?
Like how they've been doing that. They can do that. They have the ability to just sell a toy.
I was actually talking about the Secret Lair, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad things happening here. The fact that there was a hidden, truly secret lair is pretty annoying too.
The Power Rangers NFT to me is mind-bendingly stupid, and I will
like, you know how sometimes you buy something and it includes like a $2 donation to some cause that you care about, like you know, a children's hospital or whatever, you know, like ideally. But then this is like if they're like, okay, buy this thing, and for free we will cut down a tree in the Amazon rainforest. Like, we'll just throw that in there
at no extra cost to you.
Yeah, can I buy the thing without the dead tree? It's like, no, of course, it's included.
No, yeah, it's free. We threw it in. Why?
I will not be entertaining any YouTube comments exhaustively explaining to us why we just don't understand NFTs.
But it's on the Ethereum blockchain, Quark.
That was very good. The Deep Space Nine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just love Odo being like, but they just pay you? I don't understand. Anyway, if you don't know what we're referencing, just look for, I don't know, DS9 NFT thing if you care about Star Trek Deep Space Nine jokes. It's 2021. Anyway, that's all the Secret Lairs.
Yeah.
More accessible and otherwise.
Some good things, some not great things.
Just some baffling things, if I'm honest.
Yeah, like, man, remember when you could play Magic and feel good? Like, just feel like, I had a fun time. Wait, no.
I had a good draft the other day.
I had a good draft. I'm just thinking about, like, you know, remember when you were a kid and your friend would Avalanche Riders lock you? Because they were cheating. And, like...
Yeah, the way Magic was meant to be played.
The way we were...
Today I learned that when Cameron was 11 years old, his friend just put the Echo creature back into his hand instead of the graveyard. That's unfortunate. Was it a reading comprehension thing, or did they just really want to blow up your lands?
I think they wanted to win a game of Magic the Gathering.
If you'd like to win a game of Magic the Gathering, head on over to cardkingdom.com/LRL. Loading ready live now at cardkingdom.com. Sorry. Head on over to cardkingdom.com/LRR and let them know we sent you as you pick up all the best cards so that you can win a game. If you're in the United States, they'll send you anything. And if you're in the rest of the world, they'll still send you any singles and older sealed product, including, probably past Secret Lair singles. We were saying earlier that you gotta do a certain thing or go to a certain shop to buy Secret Lair stuff. But if it's from last year, it's in the LGSs and it's in the card kingdoms, the many card kingdoms. And if you ask for a button, you'll get one that says untap, draw, whoops, upkeep, or something like that.
Upkeep, draw, whoops, untap.
There we go.
Yeah.
It'll say that. We'd also like to thank everyone at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun for all that you do, keeping the lights on in our various offices and homes and shared space, and paying for our internet bills and Cameron's coffee. So,
oh, my coffee. Delicious.
Yeah, you need that. That's right. So who else do we need to thank here, Graham? Or did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I wanted to thank you all at home for listening. I'm Graham, and I've been joined by Nelson.
Yes, I was here.
And Cameron.
Hello.
Who I would also like to thank. Jordan, who does the audio edits on these. James, who ran the card reader and struggled with all the different formats that the Secret Lair images were in. And Heather, who gets the podcast online. I think that's everybody.
Sounds right.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Talk to you all next time.
Next week, we should have normal set reviews. As the Crimson Vow spoilers should be flooding in. All right, bye.
Bye.